All right, week one has come and gone. Where do you feel like you've learned the most about this team?
Yeah, I think I just told the guys yesterday in film. We've started both games really well, and then we've come out at half not so well, both games. And I think that's something we got to learn from, and I think we can. We can use whatever excuse we want to on Monday night, with all the stuff that was going on, but the gym was perfect at A&M, and we came out and we talked about it. It was a 5-point game at half. We've got to come out and we've got to at least tie or win the first 4 minutes, and I think we lost it by 13. And so I'm not even sure we scored the first 4 minutes, and I think that's where we've got to get better. We've got to really work on working for good shots, being patient, and so I think both games showed us that. That's a good thing, right? That's why we play these non-conference games, and so I'm excited to see. We talk all the time about we want to be better the next game than we were the last game. I do think we were better against A&M than we were Jackson State. Jackson State went and took Tulsa to the wire. They're going to be really good. I've told people that, and so I'm pleased with how we handled that game. But at A&M, I thought we were better. We were just going against a top 25 team. I think I haven't seen the USA Today or the AP poll today yet, but I would be shocked if they're not in the top 25. We're right there. But we go into those games expecting to compete to win. And I think at halftime, we proved that, and then second half we just didn't come out. It's a 5-minute game. If we win that first 4 or 5 minutes or stay even, then it stays a 4 or 5 point game the rest of the way. And so we've got to get better at that.
What's the importance of getting this team the opportunity to go into a hostile environment like that against Texas A&M?
Yeah, it's huge. I think it's different than a few years ago, right? Like when we go on the road in conference play, we're going to be in front of packed houses. I mean, Cal Baptist is going to have 4,000 or 5,000. They're close to being packed out. Grand Canyon is going to be packed out. New Mexico State's going to be packed out. Stephen F. Austin's attendance is growing. Everywhere we go in the WAC is going to be a hostile environment, and so we want to try to simulate that in the non-conference play, and I think playing at A&M did that. That was their highest, and I kept telling our guys, they're preparing for us. We're not taking anybody by surprise. That was their highest attendance in a non-conference game in 2 years, and so I know they promoted the game. They wanted a great crowd for us there, and they achieved that, and so it was great for us. I think we had to work a little bit. We lost our composure a little bit in the second half, but again, that's why you do that. I think we were able to reel it back in, and those are things we can talk about moving forward.
And you mentioned it, moving forward, McMurray, crosstown matchup. What are you looking to gain, especially just from this kind of opportunity? Yeah,
like always, we want to be better tomorrow night than we were Friday night against A&M, and I think we can try to achieve that. There's a lot of things we need to work on. McMurray's a good team. I like playing, either one of them each year if I can. We want to try to give those two teams an opportunity to come over here and play if we can. This year it's McMurray. Last year was McMurray. We tried with Hardin Simmons. We just couldn't work out the dates. But if we're going to play non-ones, I'd rather play these guys here in town and help them out. And both those guys are good friends of mine. And but I think we can definitely get better. We talked yesterday about respecting your opponent. McMurray's going to be a good team, and we've got to make sure we're focused and we play ACU basketball.
That's what I was going to talk about. Is McMurray has dropped 2 back-to-back games by just 1, 2, 3 points. So they definitely like to fight. So what are you looking to gain with? I think you were averaging about 20 turnovers, forcing 20 turnovers a game. So what are you looking on that as well defensively? Yeah,
McMurray, they lost 2 really tough games this weekend. One was to a really good friend of mine at Schreiner, and the other one's to a former player of mine, Texas Lutheran. And so I know how good McMurray's going to be. I think that we've got to, in order to have a chance to win the game and do what we're supposed to, we've got to force 20 or more turnovers. And that's who we are, right? I told our guys that to have a chance at A&M, we had to force 20, and we forced 19. And so, we've got it. That's our goal every single night. I know it sounds like a crazy number. We're probably the only team in the country that talks about 20 forced turnovers a game. But I think we can achieve that every night. If we do, we give ourselves a chance. And it's no different tomorrow night against McMurray. We've got to force 20 or more. And then we've got to do a better job. A&M turned us over. And that's not something we usually do. We led, not only did we lead the country in turnovers last year, we led the country in turnover margin, which means we didn't turn the ball over very much. And so we had 21 the other night, which I don't know, it's been a long time since we've had that many turnovers, and I think most of them were careless. And we can't turn the ball over like that against McMurray, or they're going to have a chance to beat us.
And that was from being really, they're attacking the paint, mainly is what I saw those turnovers off of. So offensively, can you guys get better on? I felt like, which I'm just being a stickler.
Sure.
Because, Wildcat basketball. Free throws are a big one too. I know that you make those guys sit out there and shoot free throws at the end of practice every time. So tell me about how much better they got to get at finishing on the line.
Yeah, at A&M I was really pleased. We were 10 for 12. And I think the first night, maybe some of that was nerves and jitters and things like that that came in play. But our problem at A&M was we didn't get to the line enough. And we allowed their switching defense to really throw us off a little bit. And some of that was me. We were trying to eat the possessions a little bit. In a game like A&M, you have to do that. So we were trying to play a little bit different than we normally do. But we don't want to lose our aggressiveness. And I think we did lose our aggressiveness a little bit. I think that we probably could have gotten the line a little bit more than we did, but I'll leave it at that. But I think that we still weren't aggressive enough, and we've got to make sure that tomorrow night we're actually staying aggressive, and we wanted to win the free throw battle. Our goal every night is to shoot or to make as many free throws as our opponent shoots, and we didn't even come close to that in the first two games.
The big question, I guess, is Joe back?
We don't know yet. We really don't. There's a chance that he could play tomorrow, but that depends on him. He is back practicing. So he went through our game day practice at A&M. He practiced yesterday. So we're hopeful, but I'm not pushing him back. Joe is more important to us in January and February than he is right now. So it's completely up to him. And so we're just kind of relying on him to tell us how he feels.